What's up, Tom? Hey there, Mosh. How you doing? Hey Raccoon, same to you. Hopefully your day's going well. Hey Bees, this is a polystone statue from Sideshow Collectibles, which is basically resin with stone powder mixed into it. So what I did is I put a different head onto her, and I'm using Epoxy Sculpt to sculpt new stuff onto it. Yeah, I used to have those days too when I was working for somebody, but now I'm self-employed. It's every day is just a day of work. Yeah, no problem, Bees. This is all the stuff I work on is usually resin statues or polystone. That's pretty much all I work on, really. Trying to figure out a flow for this one. Gonna try and make it closer to cartoon as possible, but for the hair, it's kind of like my own little flow. But you know, I got the arms, orange, there's going to be yellow, orange, and then red. And then I'm working out the collar. The mask is like the cartoon, but the hair is kind of like having a little fun with it. So kind of classic. I'm glad you liked the video for the Wonder Woman. Yeah, I just sculpt like this with hair, that's it. Hopefully if you're using Aves, it works out for you. Yeah, I don't know how I came up with the whole hair thing. I just started doing it one day and I just like it. So, customizing statues, it all started back when I walked into the comic book store back in 2003 or 6. I saw the Bowen Designs Captain Marvel bust, Genis Vale, and I was like floored with it. It was the best thing I ever saw, so I bought one. But I wanted a second one with the blue and white, and the guy on statue forums just said, why don't you buy a second one and paint it yourself? And I was like, okay. So I went and bought another one, then I bought another one, and then after that it just snowballed. Yeah, I say the same thing when I sculpt hair. At first it's just a blob of something, and then if you just sit there and take your time, you make some really crazy looking hair. Although I'm not as good as like a 3D sculpt hair. That's like, the detail people can get with that is amazing, but I still enjoy doing this. The only problem with doing it this way with Aves is you have to kind of do it right in that 2-hour window. Otherwise, the other thing too is just study hair. Just look at hair and see how it flows and try to copy it. But the secret to it is the paintbrushes. I just love using paintbrushes to sculpt hair and sculpt in general, which is why I have so many of them, because I throw them away all the time. I never heard of A&B epoxy putty. I don't think I've ever even seen it in a store. Is it like in hobby stores, or is it like somewhere else? what's up? Yeah, this is for a client. Originally, it was my damaged item I got from somebody, but a client asked if I had anything to customize a FireStar off of, and we talked about this, so they're probably gonna pick this one up. But I kind of got freedom to do what I want. Yeah, never heard of A and B. I can look into it. I just love Aves. It works for what I do, and all the others I've tried don't come close. So I kind of just roll with it. Is it anything like, what is it, Bondo? 'Cause I don't like Bondo at all. I only use Bondo for a bottom of a base if I need to smooth it out, because if it's broken or cracked. But I will look into it. If it's something I can use on other projects or for specific things, I'll get it. Love to try everything at least once. Milliput's not bad, it's just that I just found Aves to be more friendly and durable. Like, when the Aves cures, it's like a polystone statue, so... Alright, well thanks for letting me know. I'll, if I get a chance and I find it, I'll check it out. Hey fangirl, thanks. I'm getting there on it. Starting to take shape. Except this is the last of my Aves. Still hasn't come in yet. And this stuff is so rock hard, stiff. What's up, Dark Ryu? Been a while. If you could find Aves, I suggest you do that. I mean, they probably would work good on the Funko Pops. But I mean, if you got something that's working for you, run with it, of course. I'm not trying to shill for Aves or anything, it's just that I just love their consistency and flow of the product. Why, thank you, Mr. Child of the Atom. Well, Merry Christmas to you too, man. Yeah, I think I might do a couple of more videos before Christmas time. Tonight, after I'm done with this, I'm gonna film the last of Jesse video, and then hopefully I'll have that up on Sunday. I gotta edit it all first. But hopefully I can do a lot more before Christmas time. Yeah, sadly I don't know who that is, Raccoon. I'm not really into sculpting my own stuff. I kind of toyed with it in the past, but I kind of just enjoyed doing this. Plus, this is what I do for a living now. So, I got so many commissions, it's just can't really, don't have the time. But the way things are going, it'll be to the point where it's just going to be 3D printed items and just painting items for people. so many sculptors out there now too. It's amazing. Yep, she's gonna have a completely different base. It'll probably be better than the figure. We had this talk earlier. I know that's where you were going with it. I was waiting for you to say something. I knew it was coming. A removable belt? I guess it depends on the belt itself. Is it a thick belt? Is it a thin belt? If it's thin, you're probably best just getting some leather and kind of like sewing a belt and make it removable with like Velcro or something. If it's a thick belt, you can sculpt I guess in two parts to connect with Aves. Just throw baby powder around the item and roll Aves around it and let it cure, and then the belt should be removable. But if you have a lot of muscles, it'll be hard. It usually comes down to the project, I guess. I wouldn't rule out like leather and cloth for like belts, sashes, capes. If you do it right, it could look really good. Alright, so before any of this goes bad, for Wonder Woman, for that new one, like if you roll out Aves on a rolling pin, right? You know, like you roll it out, and if you throw baby powder on here, you can like let this sit over the item, let it cure, and the baby powder won't cure to the, you know, help it won't cure, and then after that you can sculpt onto the item and keep building off of that base. You could do that if you really wanted to. Have I painted any 3D figures? Yeah, I painted lots of them on my channel. It's just that after they're printed, people make copies in resin. Yeah, she looks like Mary Jane. I mean, I don't even remember Firestar from, what is it, Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends? But I really never remember reading her in the comics at all. She was in there, I never read those books. Yeah, right, Phil. Just plugging away, that's it. New Warriors? Yeah, I probably never really read the New Warriors, so... The one character I want to do for myself, but I want to make... I want to find a super cheap Superman premium format, and I want to make a Hyperion from Earth X. Nice old school, old Hyperion from that storyline. But that's kind of like if I ever find a really cheap Superman. I'm talking about like cheap. I don't even need the base or any of that stuff. Just the figure and the head, and that's it. Only because I love the Earth X, Paradise X storylines. I think that statue would be an awesome fit for him. Take the Superman head, make him look old, worn out, beat up. I knew this mask was going to be a pain, but oh well, we'll get it sooner or later. Yeah, Hyperion's on my list, but that's down the line. Not a priority, but it's something one day maybe I'll get to. I've tried a vinyl kit once. I will never do them again. I hate vinyl. I hate it with a passion. It's just too soft for me. I know some people love them, but for me, nah. Yeah, Thomas, if you go to Earth X, he's basically like old, worn out. He's got scars all over his face, and he's in like black and gold. I don't care for Hyperion, but when I read him in that storyline, I liked him a lot. You know, sometimes there's a book or so where you kind of you like that version of that character, and that's why I liked Hyperion from Earth X. He just wanted his life to be over, he wanted his wife, he just was tired of it all. Good storyline too, if you're ever interested. Check out the Earth X, Paradise X stuff. Good stuff. The artwork is but storyline's good. Hey Evident, yeah, I have a few videos on my channel about repairs. Like what I'm using right now is called Aves Epoxy Sculpt. You mix A and B together and you have a few hour work time. You can use this stuff to repair your statue and your kit. Like this stuff I'm using now will cure in about 8 hours and it'll become hard as a rock. Like this part, it's already been cured for a few days. This stuff right here is the same as this, just not as much red, you know, Aves in there. And you have like a 3 hour work time. So to give you a quick example, here is a, so here's a kit. This leg was removable. If you sand it down, like we get. So you see there's red Aves in here. So that's resin, and I connected the leg together and that's Aves in there. So you can use this stuff to repair it and it'll be rock hard the next day. There's other stuff you can use, like people were talking about milliput. You can use Bondo. You can use anything really. It just depends on what you've used before and what you think might make your life easier. And this liquid I'm using to smooth this out is called safety solvent. And Aves makes this specifically for their product. It's just easier to sculpt with it. And anyone that's normally in the channel, I know I might sound like a broken record, but I don't mind helping out new people to the hobby. Safety solvent. Use safety solvent for all Aves products. They sell it. It's worth it. And Fix-It Sculpt, Fix-It, Aves Epoxy Sculpt, Aves Clay. They're all pretty much the same. It just some have different consistency. So Aves Fix-It is what I'm using for the hair right now. Because as you can see, it sort of doesn't, it sags a little bit, but it doesn't sag a lot. But like regular Aves goes like that right away. So, but then again, I mixed in a lot of safety solvent, so it's kind of soft. So if you have a kit and you're working on it and say you want to add a little extra to it, you can sculpt with the Aves on top of the kit. You know, you don't always have to build it the way that they have it on the picture. You can add more stuff to it. Flip back a bit. You can wear gloves if you use this stuff, but you know, if you're worried about any of the chemicals, I just don't care, so. And build in sections, that's what I do. Build a little bit one night, let it cure up, sand it down, next day build a little up. If you try and rush everything, you might run into issues. So like, you know, I'm adding more sections to this hair to give it more volume today. So I want to give her a little bit more thicker, bushier hair, so just keep adding every day. Well, I'm glad you relax while doing it. I find it relaxing to just to sculpt hair. And my little free music list too. Well, thanks for subbing, Evan. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I actually, back in the day, I wrote an article for, I forgot the name of the magazine. But yeah, I do know the other magazine as well. I never did anything with them. I started just kind of diving into my own stuff. But I know all the guys that write articles for them, like Saul, and all those other guys. Yep, David Fisher, that's right. I used to buy that magazine all the time when I was really getting into the hobby. Went to Wonderfest and stuff like that. But then going to Jersey Fest, meeting all those guys and, you know, picking their brains apart for information. I just started diving into my own little thing too. That's a good magazine for any of the other guys out there. Amazing Figure Modeler. It's a good magazine to get pick up. They show a lot of stuff in there. I got into collecting statues when Bowen was big. Then I started customizing during the Bowen era. But then ever since Bowen, statue companies came and went. So I think as much as it grew then, it still got even more popular now, I think because of the movies. But then again, I think a lot of the younger people started getting better jobs and they can afford this stuff. I've seen people come and go out of the hobby as well. A lot of guys that were big into it dropped out. Other guys came into it. Facebook guys now are making all kinds of fan art kits, statues. So there's a lot going on right now for the pockets for it. far as collecting wise, I'm pretty sure it's gotten bigger. As far as the hobby of people doing their own stuff, maybe a little bit more than it used to be, but not as much as I thought it would be. My collection's pretty small. I just focus on grails. One day, if I ever get my TV room cleaned up, I'll do a video on what I have left now in my collection. I just focus on getting my grails made and that's it. Or if it's a statue I really like, I'll buy it. I used to have tons of stuff back in 2010, 2011, but in 2012 when I lost my graphic designer job, that's when I had to purge. You know, I had pop culture shops, you know, the Akumas, tons of Bowens, a lot of the early Sideshow Adam Hughes, tons of different busts and everything, but it all went away. I don't have a big house, so I can't really buy statues and store the boxes anywhere. Grails, when I say grails, is I make my own characters. And those are the, you know, that's what I want to have on my shelf more than just like, oh, this is a great statue, I'm just going to buy this one. I want to have my favorite characters. So I did my Captain Marvel, Genis Vale and Phyla Vale. I got my Kid Flash, Iris West from Kingdom Come. My Power Girls. I got Nate Gray kit. I gotta paint him up. Yeah, Thomas, the new stuff is absolutely amazing with 3D sculpting. But I still do like traditional sculpts though, because you can tell who the sculptor is. It's kind of like their signature. So not all the old sculpts are bad. You know, I could tell what was a Mark Miller sculpt, what was a, you know, Mark Newman. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's, you know, you got Bowens, you got your main schools, you got a lot of Facebook stuff, you got new companies are popping up. Like I know the Iron Kit Studios is making the Naruto statues, which I want to get their Hinata in the worst way once it goes up for order. Yeah, there's just so much out there right now. It's unreal. Yeah, I like fabric on statues, but it's got to be the cape or it's got to be like a belt. I don't like hiding the sculpt with fabric though. That's one thing I'm not a fan of. I mean, if you have such an amazing sculpt, but you put a chunk of fabric on it to hide all the detail, I'm not a fan of that. But then again, if you're doing like a Star Wars character, you know, it's like a Jedi with a cloak on, and I guess fabric makes sense. Yeah, well, yeah, Thomas. With 3D sculpting, you can make anything look like fabric with, you know, with amazing detail now, which is really nice. Yeah, I guess, you know, an article on a magazine's kind of the old way. That's why everyone just says go to YouTube. You know, everyone just makes videos, and I guess if you're like me, if I see it in real time or I watch somebody do something, then I can understand it. If I read it, it doesn't make sense to me, but I have to actually physically see it, and then I got a grasp on what's going on. It's kind of why I enjoy doing the YouTube channel too. I get to show people in real time instead of explaining it. I'm not painting anything yet on her. When I go to paint her, I'll figure out how I go about it then. It's kind of the last thing I'm thinking about right now. probably be painted skin first, though, then outfit, then hair. Hair is usually last. Oh, don't be sorry, just ask questions. Not a big deal. It's Dark Phoenix. Some sideshow. Oh, Phoenix. Dark Phoenix, whatever you want to call her. I guess they just called her Phoenix. Never heard of that site. I don't deal with recasts. If people send me stuff to work on, I try to make if it's like a sideshow item or a legit licensed item. I usually know if it's going to be coming in a colored box and all that stuff. But if it's like a recast, I tell people no, don't send it to me. If it's like a fan art item and it's a recast, then I sometimes I don't know. So I can't really sit there and sift through everything. But as far as me buying stuff, I usually just buy a sideshow item or something and customize it, or if it's a fan art, get on the list and order one. Yeah, it's hard for me to do like videos and explain painting because I'm not like a traditional like, okay, we have to do it this way and then you have to add this. I kind of just blend and do stuff, so painting videos for me are tough. I know people would love to see all the details, but I don't have anything special. I just paint. And then once the color looks right, I'm done. If that makes any sense. And also to paint on live stream too, it's sort of tough because I can sit there and mask something for 30 minutes and paint on the live stream in like 5 seconds, and then it's like, okay, I gotta let this dry now. So but if I do different shades of red, I'll probably add mahogany into it, like, which is kind of like a brown red, you know, for the outfit. Well, yeah, for the gloves, and then the this you could kind of like do red, but you can make it glossy. You know, maybe I'll try and make the gloves a little more leather looking. I don't know, we'll see. I haven't gotten that far yet. As far as human proportions, I did go to art school. That's why I became a graphic designer, so I learned a lot of proportions there. You know, the whole, how many heads to the body, all that stuff. So I guess whenever I try to customize, I try to keep a lot of that in mind. But most of the time these sideshow items are in great proportion. They're not like off or anything. You know, I went as far as back as when, you know, when I was in art school, we went to, like, you know, look at bodies and cadavers and learn the muscle structure and stuff too. Wasn't pretty, but gotta learn. Trying to fill up the bangs a little bit now. Starting to fill up, look a little bit better of a nice flow. I'll probably have to do maybe 1 or 2 more over here after this cures up. And once Aves starts to harden and get a little stiffer, you could kind of cut into it, and it won't like soften up on you. You kind of keep the cut a bit. Am I missing the camera angle? I keep forgetting if I bring it in too close. Which site? Are you talking to the guy, the one that posted it? Nah, I have no clue. Yeah, I do know over in Japan though, their rules are different than ours for recasts and kits and stuff. Their laws are different, so I guess it's kind of the norm out there. But when it comes to licensed stuff for like American stuff, it's a different beast. I guess they don't have copyright laws, if that's... I think I'm correct on that. Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, when I first got into the hobby, I discovered Volks, you know, like the Bayonetta kits. So I was doing research and I found out that you can buy it, the original, if you're lucky, because they have it at the Wonderfest show, which is in Japan or something. But from what I heard is people buy up the kit at the show and then they go home and they make copies of it. So if you were to actually get an original Volks, you're lucky. At least that's what I sort of learned when I first got back into this, way back into the day. I think it was around 2099 is when I was like looking at a lot of anime kits for fun, to airbrush and build. And I remember I first joined eBay then, and I was buying up kits non-stop. Yeah, I know licensing for, like, you know, if you want like a Marvel license, it's like millions. So I mean, if a company's paying all that money for a license and you take their product and make 3,000 of their copies, then yeah, it's You're asking for trouble. Alright, starting to shape up better with the hair up front now. It's a little messy before. Yeah, I had an original Volks Bayonetta. I never built it, and when I lost my job back then, I decided to sell it all off, and I made a nice chunk of change off of it. Then again, it was expensive to get it too, but that was like years ago. Yeah, that's the way it is. You're taking a kit that was casted from original, and then you're making another cast out of that cast. So basically, you lose a lot of detail. That's why they say sometimes these items are like 5th generation, 6th generation casts. So I remember I had that Akuma kit, which was like off of the Alpha 2 artwork. That's what got me into buying kits. I bought it off eBay, and the guy told me it's like a 7th generation casting, and it was a friggin' mess. It took me a long time just to get it paintable. But that's how I learned. Gotta start somewhere. I think once in a while that Akuma kit pops up on eBay, but it's so... it needs so much work. think I need this stuff just to get a little bit harder soon. Probably touch some areas that I'm afraid to right now. That works as a nice little curve. That's why I love Aves. Once you start curing up, you can kind of pull it off the item. Hey there, Frank. How you doing? Give this a little bit more of a push. I'm using Aves Fix-It Sculpt with a tiny bit of regular red Aves mixed into it, because that's all I had left. I always use Fix-It Sculpt for hair. So if you're that stuff. I do have Magic Sculpt, but I use that for internal stuff. So if our arm is broken, I'll put a wire there with Magic Sculpt in there to secure it, and then I use Aves over on top of it to clean it all up. I don't like to sculpt hair or body parts, I mean like outfits with a Magic Sculpt. Yeah, YouTube has so many strict rules now. I have to do all that kids not, friendly crap, and it's just, I get demonetized on certain videos because of stuff. It's never anything with YouTube. What's up, Marvel? Yeah, I watched it as a kid, but like really young as a kid. So I don't really remember much of it. I think I was more into Tom and Jerry than anything back as a kid. I could watch Tom and Jerry all day long. I know they're making a movie, but old violent cartoon was the best. Periscope? Never done it before. I know there's so much stuff out there to do, to stream, and I guess for right now I'm just doing YouTube until they either kick me off or I find something else. I mean, the other thing too is what I do, it's kind of hard to jump on other platforms, and I don't know, we'll see. I'll think about it. What's up, Vigilante? Thanks. Getting there. Slowly. Trying to detail and clean it up a little bit now. I do have plans to do a little bit more on Picardo if I do anything more risky, where you can't really show stuff on YouTube. But also there you get to play whatever music you want, so I can have the radio going and stuff. So if you're not signed up, go to Picardo, and you never know when I might stream there too. Although if I stream on Picardo, not a lot of people really know about it, so it's kind of like empty when I do it. Nah, if you're a big channel on YouTube, you don't get demonetized. You get, if you're part of Hollywood and you're part of all that, you know, like I don't watch like late night talk shows. I haven't watched them ever in my life really, but they're all in my feed. So I'll watch like Linus Tech Tips, I'll watch statues, I'll watch, you know, painting channels. But when I go to my life, you know, my feeds, it's always like late night talk show stuff. So that tells you something right there. Oh yeah, Tom and Jerry, Three's Company, Stooges, all that old stuff was great back then. Then again, if you think about it, all the old cartoons weren't really made for kids. Just happened that way. No, I don't hate sanding anything. Everything I do I love. Sanding, painting, priming, I love this. Wake up every day and work on statues? I'll sand and prime all day long. The only thing I hate is if I'm working on a character I don't want to work on. That's the only thing I really hate. And that's why I don't take on characters I don't like. Because it's just not fair to anyone if I'm not going to put 110% into it. Basically Iron Man. Yeah, Super Sculpty is not meant for the long term. It's meant for short term. Basically, you sculpt with it, you bake it, and you make your resin copy. It's really not meant for long term because they deteriorate. I've kind of had people send me items to repair, and then all of a sudden I find out it's Super Sculpty, and I tell them that I can't do it because what happens is with Super Sculpty, when you Dremel into it or you start sanding it, it starts cracking and cracking and cracking, and before you know it, you destroy the item. But if you like it, learn how to mold and cast. Because you can sculpt in Sculpty, and then after it's done, make a mold and cast it in resin, and then you can work on that resin piece. Of course, molding and casting is another whole beast altogether. Although what I'm doing right now with Aves, you can't really do with Magic Sculpt. I don't know if any kind of chemical can help smooth it out. I should try safety solvent on it one day and see how it works. But I don't think there's anything that really smooths it out like Aves. Maybe I'm wrong though. Someone who uses Magic Sculpt a lot might know. Yeah, I'll be adding a lot more hair to her. For right now, I'm just working on a little bit here and there. I gotta wait for Aves to come in the mail. But yeah, I'm gonna build up some more under here, build up probably a little here, build up maybe around here, definitely some more around here. More and more to go. So if I get my Aves by next week, next Friday, I'll stream working on this again. My little mellow streams of working on hair. I want to try to cover up the ears a little bit too, a little bit more. Kind of just leave the bottom of them showing. The little tiny strands are usually at the very end, otherwise I'll mess them up now. Yeah, when they do like, you know how there's a metal rod here, what they'll do is when they make the mold, they'll put the metal rod in the mold and it'll comes up all the way up here. And what they do is they just put whatchamacallit, resin all around it. Sometimes a lot of your fingers in statues, if they're if it's a well-made statue, they'll put wires in them, but not all the time. Sometimes when you have like little strands hanging off statues, they'll put wires in them. But most of the time they don't. They should, but they don't. Like if you ever break a statue and you feel it twisting but it doesn't actually come off, that means there's a rod in the item. And usually that helps repair them a little bit easier. Or makes it more difficult because you can't get glue in there to kind of, you know, fix it correctly. This face is actually the head from Troy McDivitt, his superhero Christmas tree ornament line. It was a few years back. I went to the Jersey Fest show, and he had the head up on there. So I loved it, and it was like in perfect scale for like 1/4 statue. So I said, you know what? I told Troy I wanted one, but he was out of stock. So he emailed it. Well, he mailed it to me when it came back in stock, and it just fits this statue perfectly. So I think it works out pretty well. If I put this up for sale, I mean, usually when I do something like this, I kind of charge what I would normally charge for the item, plus, you know, you don't have to supply the item, it's already there. So, I don't know. Could be anywhere from like $1,500 to $2,000. I mean, like I tell people, I do a lot of work. It's not just customizing it and then painting. You know, I gotta sculpt, paint, prep, all in one shot, so it's a lot of work. But a lot of the stuff you see is for what people want, so it always goes on someone's shelf, and that's kind of what they ask for, so it's not like I have a say in it. I try to be fair, but I also try to put food on the table, pay the bills. I mean, yeah, if you like the head, you can always see if Troy McDivitt is still selling these. I think it was only, I think he was selling them for 25 to 40? I forget how much he was selling them for. Well, I based this mask off that, the anime. But the thing is, if I went too wide with it, I probably would snap it off. So I'm kind of limited what I was able to do. And like I say, it's kind of basing it off of it, but I think once she's painted up, it won't, you know. Well, it's all about the anime, the cartoon that's in the picture. I know it's kind of a little bit more wider, but I was afraid that I'll friggin' snap them. And I couldn't really make it removable. I didn't miss much. I'm just trying to detail up the item now. All the Aves is starting to harden up. But so far I'm enjoying it. Coming together pretty nicely. Maybe I'll watch Mandalorian later tonight when after I finish the video for Jesse. I usually do all my filming of stuff in the photo studio at night. I get better lighting that way. No, you can critique all you want. I'm not the type of person to sit there and be like, you know, don't tell me what to do, blah, blah, blah. I listen to everybody. It's one thing I learned in art school. The only way you're going to get better is to listen to what other people say and learn from everything. But as I keep sculpting and I get better and better and learn from mistakes, you know, I learn what I can and can't do. Like, I wanted to make a wire metal mask to go on, but that didn't work out. I didn't want it to snap. So as you can see, I sort of built the mask out a little bit inwards there. Otherwise, I probably would have broke it. And I just figured Troy's head worked so perfectly with the character, that's why I swapped out the head. That's why if anyone ever tells you you're doing a bad job or this, that, and that, just ask why and get better. Not perfect, but I'm always trying to get better every day. Try new things, new chemicals, products. What's up, Terrell? Just sculpting away. Thank you. She's getting there. Statues always look weird until you get that hair onto them. Trying to just do a nice little elegant flow. Kind of reminds me of like old school, what is it? Maybe 70s or 80s hair? I don't know. Maybe 90s? I don't know, probably doing something subconscious to a picture I saw. Yeah, they, for this statue, when they sculpted it, they gave her a little bit more definition to it. But it's a superhero statue, who cares? Well, one of the things about some of these statues is, like, you know, they added wrinkles to the outfit, but the back of her, if she was actually to have an outfit on, you wouldn't see all the muscles back there, even with spandex. But, you know, like, you have wrinkles here, but back here on this back line, it's completely flush into her back with her muscles. So, I mean, it's a superhero statue, you know? You know, you got wrinkles here. Not really many wrinkles or flatness here. There's some wrinkles around there, but you see all her complete abs and stuff. So, you know, I mean, but then again, if you look at a comic book, they'll do the same thing. They'll add a couple wrinkles, but you'll see all the abs and everything on the outfit. So, eh. If you want to clean your statues, if it's a pre-paint statue from like China, you could even just use like water or alcohol, but you might rub off some of the washes they use. Any of the statues that I paint up that I use acrylic paints for, if you were to use alcohol, you probably would destroy it. Your best bet is just go to CVS, get one of those makeup brushes that, you know, women use for blush, those really puffy ones, and just use that to brush off your statue's dust. As long as you keep dusting them, you should be fine. If you don't dust them, then you'll get caked up dusting on it, and then it becomes a nightmare. The stuff from China, those paints, like this statue painted from Sideshow, like, if you had dust here, you can just use a rag with some water and wipe it off and you'd be fine. But if you ever see Sideshow statues that they like, this is a red item, and then there's a little bit of a like darker red shade, if you kind of rub too much there, you'll take off that wash that they do. Best bet is get a glass case with a door, and this way they stay dust free for longer. If you have to, build your own case. I know my friends, they get those Maju cases. You can go to IKEA and get the Bestas. I have the old Bestas with the glass doors. No, no. With sealers, like honestly, the statues from China, they really don't seal them per se. I think their paints are just so like lead-based paints. I mean, even though they say they're not, but they're so strong like that they just spray them and then that's it. But stuff that I use, even my sealers, still are not going to protect the item from like rubbing it off if you're crazy with trying to clean them. Basically, like I said, you just want to have them in a glass case with a door. The best way to keep them safe. Or dust all the time, one or the other. Yeah, the IKEA Bestas were amazing, but ever since they stopped making the glass doors, other people found other stuff. Although on YouTube, my friends have been showing me, some people have been making some crazy custom cases. I think it's actually a few people. If you go to the Sideshow website and you try to find the old listing of this Phoenix, which I don't know if she's actually up for sale anymore, they list all the sculptors who took part of it. Sideshow doesn't have just one person sculpt the item. It's like a crew of guys who do it. So someone might be like the head sculptor now, somebody else might do the body, and then you have the art director who directs it, and then you have another guy who helps like tweak some areas. So yeah, Sideshow has a lot of sculptors now. Okay, so I know she wasn't sold out for ages, but I guess she finally sold out. But if you do a search on Google, you'll find the old listing for it. And on that listing will give you everybody that sculpted it. But I don't think it gives you a listing of who sculpted what though, it's just like people who were involved in the process. Yeah, I love Mark Newman sculpts. As for Zantana, I thought it was a... Oh no, I'm thinking of Psylocke. Hold on, maybe I can... Let's see. I know it's here, so here we go. Yeah, so that's the link to the statue, so that's what I'm using for this. And I keep on hitting this wire. Let's put you over here instead. Hold on. Yeah, if you want to see good sculpts, if you follow Mark Newman, who is a good sculptor on his Instagram, he shows a lot of his realistic stuff and his monster stuff. I love his sculpts. Mark Newman's amazing. He's probably my favorite sculptor. But a lot of the other guys on Sideshow, like, look up their names and then look up some of their portfolios. I'm sure a lot of them got some really good sculpts you'd be into. I'm not into Hot Toys really. I mean, I love the faces, and I love the paintwork that they do. But as far as like the figures themselves, I have no interest. I don't know, I guess with Hot Toys you have an amazing head sculpt, but then you have the doll, you know, the action figure body. But like Prime 1 though, Prime 1 has been doing some amazing stuff too. Like their head sculpts are really getting great, their figure sculpts are getting great. I would love to get their what is it, the Prime 1 Cyborg Superman. Absolutely love that item. But I have no funds or place to put it. I think as of right now, that Cyborg Superman from Prime 1 is my favorite piece they did so far. And I'm not really even a Cyborg Superman fan. But that sculpt just screams 90s comics to me. Yeah, Andy Berkowitz did the OG Hulk and stuff. I know that's like a really, really sought out item. Although I know I'll get crap for this, I could care less about Hulk items. It's fun painting Hulk. That I'll say much. I like to paint green skin and stuff. That's a lot of fun. But to own one, I could care less. I think that side of the hair came out pretty decent. I like it. Yeah, I think all these companies are really just starting to really pop now. So as I told my friends when because Prime 1 said they would, if they make a Power Girl 1/3, that's probably when I'm gonna have to go broke. go in debt on my credit card just to get that one. Yeah, heroes. Actually, I am not on Facebook, though. I refuse to go on Facebook, but if you have an Instagram, if your Facebook is, public, then I can check it out. I know, I refuse Facebook. I just don't want to do it. I'm already overloaded with Instagram, my channel, sculpting. Yeah, Terrell, Prime One says they're making one. It's in the works, but I guess I don't know when. So as of right now, I'm waiting for Spec Fiction to put up the Hinata Naruto 1/4 scale figure. And then I'm saving money for Prime One. Unless Sideshow makes another Power Girl, then I'll have to get that one as well. Which I'm probably... I'm pretty sure they probably will. They're remaking everybody anyway. Yeah, heroes, if you can link it to me, if you can't link it in chat, which I don't know if you can link stuff in chat, I haven't done all this Facebook stuff yet, but, you can shoot me an email through my website, or you can, if you're on Instagram, just friend me there. I'd love to check it out. Yeah, I love the Power Girl from Sideshow, because that was like Mark Newman sculpted it, and it's like exactly what I would have loved to have him sculpt. So it's like a grail for me. And I think his Poison Ivy. I think that Poison Ivy is probably my second favorite sculpt from Sideshow. I just love how that's Poison Ivy. The pose, the anatomy, everything. And the Harley Quinn with the cloth outfit, her regular head, has to be my all-time favorite Harley Quinn sculpted head. I just absolutely love that one. It just screams that she's crazy looking. And it's got that like anime / comic book look to it. The rumor is that they got a storm coming, you know, the White Storm, but I don't know who's sculpting it. Yeah, Raccoon, the one I turned into Mary Jane. Absolutely love that sculpt. The one I'm doing Jessie Pokemon from as well. Yeah, that Harley Quinn had a really great body. It just, the cloth just didn't work. Like, I think cloth would work, but you have to put more, you know, effort into making it stick to the body correctly. But when a factory's gonna do like 3,000 of them, I guess it's not gonna happen. I think that's what a lot of people forget. This stuff has to be produced correctly. It's got to go to a factory. You know, you got thousands of them to make, so it's not as easy as you would, you know. But then again, you spend money for this stuff too. And right now I'm just trying to smooth some of this out now. It's pretty much toughened up. Yeah, that Black Lantern Wonder Woman, that was a lot of fun. I think that was one of the first times I really did like a hair from scratch, I would think. Like, at least one of my better ones, I would say. It was a fun design, too. You too, Colin. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good weekend. Starting to get cleaned up a little bit more on this. Yeah, I gotta fill in a lot more on this hair. Shaping up pretty decent. Big chunk here is missing. Hey Blue Sheep, it is called Aves Epoxy Sculpt. I pretty much use it for all my customs. If you want to look into it, go to Aves Studio. That's with Aves Studio. Mix it together A and B. You got about a 2 to 3 hour work time, and in 8 hours it's hard as a rock. As you can see, this red part here I did the other day. The lighter stuff right now is just what I've been working on for the past hour, 2 hours, something like that. Yeah, the eyes are going to be a pain, but I didn't actually fill in the eyes. If you look at them, Troy McDivitt actually sculpted the eyes. So it actually won't be that bad to paint them. I was going to fill them up, but it looked kind of cool without doing it, so I just got to go in there and clean them up a bit, and I should be able to paint them. It's one of the first time ever that I had an item that eyes were actually sculpted in. That's the way Troy did his ornaments, I guess. Yep, eyes suck. I'm horrible at painting eyes too. That's why I use the eye decals. Those eye decals saved me when I really got into this pretty heavy. The eye decals from Archer Fine Transfers, they make everything from 1/6 scale eyes to 1/4. So if you're printing out bigger stuff, it won't help. But you can see, this is one of their sheets. So you can see the scale to this sheet here. So if you want, you can hit Archer Fine Transfers. They make all different types of eye sheets. It's got a little bit of a learning curve to get them to fit into the item, but if you can practice enough, you'll be able to do it. Took me a while. Some people will say it's cheating using the eye decals, but I don't think it is. As long as the end result is nice and that's what you want. No, you gotta cut the eyes decals. They're a little bit of a pain. When I post my video Sunday on the Jesse Pokemon statue, I sort of explain in the video how I do the eye decals. I did do another video on how to do it, so it's you can kind of look on my channel, maybe a better explanation. It's tricky, but once you get used to it, it'll work. Yeah, you gotta slide them on. You just need to go slow with a little bit of water. You need what is it? You need to get Solvaset. Solvaset, like after you put the water on the eye and you slide it to where you want it and it sort of dries, you use Solvaset to let it like melt around the eyeball. And then once it kind of like melts and it stays, you let it dry and then you can seal it with like a clear coat. Okay, Frank, I will save that and check it out when I get a chance. If you're on Instagram, you can also friend me there. But I think this hair worked out good for tonight. Pretty happy with the flow. Cleaned up a little bit better too. I mean, if you guys don't know, I'm actually using these to kind of make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, the decals, that Solvaset stuff is what's going to make your life easier for to go around the eye. But I'll be honest with you, it's taken me a lot of tries to get these eyes done correctly. So don't think that your first time cutting the eye decals and putting it on is going to go right. There's times where I'll do this eye and it's perfect, and this eye I have to rip up like 3 times. But if you keep doing it and you keep practicing and you keep, you know, getting a system down, before you know it, you'll be able just to cut the eye, slide it on there, dry it, Solvaset, and you're done. Don't use too much water. I use like, where's it? A couple drops in this container here. Let it sit there. I got my tweezers that I pop out for the eye. And then I just use a paintbrush and I kind of just slide it on the eye, kind of move it around where I need it, let it dry, and Solvaset it, and then clear coat it. It's a pain. I'm not gonna lie to you, but and they have different eyes too, not just the ones I showed you. So with the Jesse Pokemon I just finished up, I actually used their basic eyes, and then once it dried I went in with a paintbrush and I kind of colored them a little bit, and then I sealed them up, so it worked out pretty well. Always comes down to practice. And if you really want to practice, go get yourself a 1/4 scale off of eBay somewhere. You know, sometimes you can find like an old sideshow head cheap, or a Bowen statue. And what you could do is you could strip the item down, paint up the eyes, put some eye decals on, and then if you mess up, strip it down again, try again, and just keep practicing. It's better to practice on a cheap damaged or broken item than the chance to do the item that you're working on and mess it all up. Smaller the head though, the more pain you'll have. The larger the head, the easier it is. Yeah, Sean, I just use Tamiya clear coat out of the bottle, which is clear, and that's all I use to clear my eyes. It's not too glossy, but it's not like flat, and plus it seals the eye decal. Okay, Raz, yeah, that's a good plan. That should work for you. I wish I could show better details on a lot of my videos, but if I had like the camera in my way, I would mess it all up and you guys would be like, what the hell is he doing? That's the only problem. But I mean, if you ever, well, if the world ever opens back up again, hit up like a Jersey Fest or a Wonderfest show. Those are great places to really talk to people and, like, you know, see what people do and really get stuff in real time. Wonderfest is in Kentucky, Jersey Fest is in Newark, New Jersey, and I think there's one starting in Florida. I forgot the name of that one. And then I think there's a Monster Palooza in California. So if the world opens back up and we don't have a zombie apocalypse, check out those shows. They're good places to start to really hit up a bunch of other stuff. But if we have the zombie apocalypse, then forget it. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to paint when I'm done, but whatever. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to... It's kind of my way of sculpting here. If you, you know who's a really good at sculpting hair, which I study a lot, is Roberto. He does a lot of Jesse's garage kits. I have the head over here. Roberto's hair sculpts, like, this is how Roberto sculpts hair. This was for the head for the Harica Fire Elemental video I did. I love how he sculpts hair. So I try to kind of, sort of copy his way a bit. but if you really like to study hair, and like he does amazing work. So this is the head sculpt for the girl on the ladder video I did a while back. I asked Jesse if I could buy a head for that because I want to change up the head. But so like as you can see, I just love how he sculpts hair. It's kind of like stylized. It's got a lot of curls and waves. So I try to follow, you know, kind of do what he does a little bit here and there too. Yeah, Roberto von Baer. He is an absolutely phenomenal sculptor. So while I don't get a lot of curves like Roberto, I sort of try to kind of, at least try to kind of copy it or follow it. I just love how he sculpts. Yeah, I don't know, like Roberto, I think he's on ArtStation. I think he's got a webpage on ArtStation. You might want to check there. I don't know if he's on DeviantArt. Yeah, Frank, that happens. You're always going to get someone doing stuff like that. Yeah, get some Aves. Get the Aves Fix-It Sculpt. Or if you get the Fix-It Sculpt, mix some regular Aves in with it, though. You could kind of really work with it. Just don't be afraid to do what I did. Like, I worked, what, 2 hours, and I just kept going. You're not going to get it done in, like, 15 minutes. But if you just keep working it, and working it, smoothing it out, you know, you'll get a nice, you know, flow going. Because what was it, at that hour mark, it still was messy and it was breaking up and there was all this cakey stuff. And then after like hour and a half to 2 hours, it starts kind of like smoothing out. And you start getting a lot of like kind of better feel for it. And then after it's done, if you have like if it's cured up the next day, if you have, your 3M like pads, if you have them that are used up, not like brand new, but like the fine after it's used and it's fairly soft, you can go in there and sort of like clean it up a bit. So if you do have anything like caked up, you can at least smooth it out. You don't want to over sand it though, you know. Like some of this has got kind of caked up, so you could kind of just sort of smooth it out a bit without killing any of your detail. Because I'll have to go in there and clean up the head again and all that stuff. Yeah, Aves is definitely good for repairs. You can even use the Aves if your 3D prints. If your 3D prints are hollow, you can shove Aves in there to fill up those prints. And Aves doesn't really like expand. It might shrink a tiny bit, but you can definitely fill up 3D prints with that stuff. Yeah, I think it's Roberto or Robert von Baer. But yeah, definitely close to the name. It's either E or A in his last name. Let me see if I have the video. Hold on. Yeah, like Terrell said, ArtStation, that's where you want to go. Yeah, Roberto, I always say Roberto. I don't know if it is or not, but he his female anatomy is absolutely out of this world. Traditional. He's absolutely, I love all his sculpts. I don't think there's any sculpt he's done that I really didn't like. Like here, I'll show you right now. This is a personal project. This is his sculpt of the girl on the ladder. So hopefully I can start this next year. So this is the head that came with it. But I asked Jesse if I could buy this head. So I want to put this head on the body. But yeah, his anatomy is just out of this world. I love his like wrinkles. All traditional. Amazing sculptor. If I had money, I'd commission Roberto to do a sculpt for me too. Nice guy too. I met him once, he came to the States. He went to the Resintopia when they were a thing. I don't know his pricing, but I think it's like typical, like most sculptors out there. I think a lot of guys, you know, are probably around that anywhere from 3 to 6. Kind of like the norm, I think. Well, I think it's anywhere from 2 to 6. I know the high-end guys who are like really like super popular are probably like 10. The reason why I like Roberto so much is you can tell his sculpts. He's got like that signature on all his stuff. So, but with his items though, it's traditional, so you definitely have to get them and make copies and resin castings, because he does sculpt in Sculpty. He does 1/4 scale stuff. He actually, a friend of mine had him sculpt a Harley Quinn 1/4 scale. It was absolutely amazing, but my friend went through some personal stuff, so he actually never came to light of day. But if he actually did produce it, it would have been an amazing Harley. But I'll kind of leave it at that. I can't really talk too much about it. If he ever gets back on his feet, maybe he'll produce it. But Roberto does everything. Actually, he sculpted a, I think it was posted on Clubhouse. I think he did a Cinderella. It looked awesome. But my favorite of his sculpts is the one I just showed you of the girl on the ladder. That is my actually favorite sculpt Roberto ever did, except I wasn't a fan of the head, but I was lucky enough to get the Harika Fire Elemental head from Jesse. So a little custom work, and I'll make myself a nice little female statue of that. Well, I think this Aves is pretty much as far as I'm going to do with it tonight. Pretty much all stiffened up. Yeah, the Wednesday sculpt is actually available. It's on Garage Kits. I'll link it for you. I have the link somewhere. Where is it? Garage kits. Yeah, so if you go to Garage Kits, up at the top of Model Kits, you'll see the Denizens of Zoe, Halloween Nightmares, other models. So the Wednesday is in other models. Now the only thing is, I do know Jesse is kind of backed up because of the whole COVID and supplies and all that stuff, but definitely, if you're looking to get one, he's got it. No, Raccoon, I've never seen it, but I'll check it out. I'll put it on my list. I got a long list of stuff I gotta catch up on, so. No, Evident. I haven't actually done a sculpt from scratch. I kind of just got into the whole customizing stuff, and because I like to do everything. Customize, paint, repair, do it all. If I actually got into 3D sculpting, if I had the time and learned the program, I would probably do something then. But traditional now. Cool, Raccoon, I'll check it out. The only problem I have is I'll have to find time to watch it. Most of the stuff I watch, well, I actually just listen to on YouTube. Because I'm always busy either at the airbrush booth or painting or something, so it's hard to actually watch. But then again, I don't watch TV anymore, so maybe I'll add it to my YouTube stuff at night. Well, a grail is anything that you want in, like, basically a grail is something you're going to take to your grave. If it's something you love so much, that's the thing you want in all the world, and you'll drop whatever money, or, you know, like I tell people, if you like a character, say, Booster Gold, are they ever going to make a Booster Gold? Maybe not. So instead of spending money and buying all these other statues, you buy one statue that sort of looks like Booster Gold, and you could chop it up and make a grail out of it. That's kind of like what I say a grail, you know. Alright, Frank, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you had fun and just shooting the wind with all this stuff. Yeah, Terrell, I haven't actually had a cable since 2010. I've been watching everything online. And then I gave up cable TV when it just went downhill. But then again, YouTube and learning and watching stuff on that's been a lot more fun. Yep. YouTube, learning different things, watching other people do stuff is a lot more fun. It's better than dropping like $200 a month on cable internet when I could just have the internet for like $50 a month. And I don't watch sports, so. Chinika, hopefully I said that right. Yeah, she's gonna have a little bit more. I haven't done the whole shirt yet. Where's my pencil? So I guess as far as the shirt, it's gonna come down like here, something like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a little risque, but whatever. Yeah, Raccoon. I don't have Netflix, actually. There's a lot of other websites out there. You can watch anything and anything for free. So, the internet has it all. Yep, no sports for me, never have. All I did was play football in high school, and that was it. I was a comic book geek, so I would come home, and I would draw, and paint, and stuff like that. So the shirt's gonna be like that. Something like that. I think it fits the head sculpt and the body, a little bit risky. Why not, right? But I think that is it for the night. The hair is all cured up. Got a nice look to it. Get up a little bit closer. Yeah, I gotta definitely fill out more here, and definitely more here. I want to try to thicken up this side a little bit more. So I guess that's about it for tonight. Well, Chinika, Bowen Designs actually did a zombie UFC statue a while back. It was a guy that's in the UFC, or an MMA fighter maybe, I think. But I haven't seen much of it though. I thought he was going to do a line of it, but I guess it didn't happen. Yeah, sorry Raz, I don't have set times of streaming. I just kind of do whatever I can when I can. But I think I'm going to call it a night there. That's pretty much it I can do. So if I get more Aves this week, I will try and do more of this on next Friday. I don't know what time though. That's if I get Aves. I only have a very tiny bit left, but I need it for a statue this week, so let's see what happens. But that's it, guys. I'm going to call it a night. Hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Thanks for stopping by. And we'll be streaming hopefully next week.